Hello and welcome back to the course on Tableau. And congratulations on completing this course. And this is you. You're a Data rock star. Well done. If I could send you this mousepad, I totally would. You have so deserved it. You have been through all, or at least most of the sections, have done all of these exercises, learned these new techniques and skills and methods of visualization. And I really hope that now you're feeling very confident in your power to work with data using Tableau. And I also hope that you enjoyed the journey along the way that we had in this course. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to jump behind the computer and we will look through a list of topics that we covered off and just refresh on the key takeaways that we had from the different sections, and then I'll jump right back here and wish you farewell on your journey into the world of data. So let's get straight into it.
All right, back behind the computer here, and in front of us we've got the sections of the course listed, so sections 2 to 7. And we are going to break them down into these 3 categories. So I've actually already analyzed the lectures, and I will present you with information, kind of like a map, where you can find which type of information in which section. So whether or not there was information relating to joining data, connecting to data, creating extracts within a certain section. That's the red category. The blue category, conceptual, means things like creating calculated fields and how Tableau works in the background, and the fundamentals of Tableau. And finally, the green category is information within a section where we looked at a new way of visualizing data, whether it was a bar chart, a pie chart, or we worked with dashboards. So the aspects of our work that affect the visual representation of data. So let's have a look at that. Section 2. Tableau Basics, your first bar chart. Here we connect to a CSV file, so that's our data category. In the conceptual category, we've got the calculate field. We introduced that right away at the start of the course. And then in visualization, we'll learn how to do a bar chart, how to add colors, labels, formatting, and exporting. Next, in section 3, we learned how to connect to an Excel file, and we learned how to do data extracts. In terms of conceptual information about Tableau and how it works, we learned how to visualize a time series as a measure and as a dimension. So there's 2 different ways. We learned about aggregation and granularity. So that granularity of your view is dependent on the items that you have dragged onto that view, and aggregation happens at the granularity of your view. So a very important lecture on that. We learned to add filters, and we learned how to operate quick filters. Next, in the visualization category, we've got line charts, shapes, the show me functionality. We create an area chart, and we learned how to use highlighting to our advantage when we're investigating data for trends and anomalies and so on. So that was quite a packed section, lots of new information there. Section number 4, we learned data joins in the data category. In the conceptual category, we learned quite a lot because we started working with our first dashboard. So we had hierarchies, which is relating mostly to maps, but you can also definitely can and should use hierarchies in other situations when hierarchies are present in your data. We learned how to apply a filter to multiple sheets, which is also useful when creating dashboards. And then in terms of dashboarding, we learned how to add charts to dashboards, how to add a quick filter, how to add an action filter, so making our dashboard interactive and via filtering, and also how to make our dashboard interactive via highlighting. And we also learned the difference between the filter action and the highlight action, and how they differ in the background of Tableau and why they can produce very different results at time. And visualization, we learned how to create a map, we learned how to place circles onto that map, we learned how to create a scatter plot, and we also learned about dashboard layouts, how to add different worksheets to a dashboard, and how to operate where they're located on that dashboard. So that was an interesting section because we've introduced dashboards for the first time. Then we kind of took a step aside and we focused on the data side of things, the data theory. We learned about the join theory, so completely from scratch. Even if you have no idea about what joins are, in this section we picked that up. We learned about blending data, and finally the showdown, we looked at joining versus blending data, a very interesting topic which a lot of people underestimate the power of. So it's always good to get this covered off in terms of your foundation of Tableau. In terms of conceptual, we learned how to create calculated fields in a blend. That's more of an advanced topic, but you will definitely need it at some point. So whenever you do need it, come back, review this course, watch that lecture, because it will really help you out when you're creating calculated fields and using two different data sources which have been blended. And in terms of visualization, we added a new visualization item, a dual axis chart. It's a very powerful feature of Tableau because it allows you to save space. You can put one chart behind the other. It also allows you to compare them visually, or the user to compare them visually when they're together. And very important, as soon as you create a dual axis chart, don't forget to synchronize the axes, because that's a lot of mistakes are made that way in Tableau, and we also covered that off in this section. And then we went on to the heavy artillery. We talked about advanced dashboarding, table calculation, storytelling in section 6. So in terms of conceptual, we learned about geographic roles, how you can tell Tableau which items in your data are actually geographic roles if it doesn't pick them up automatically. We'll learn about table calculations, a very powerful feature in Tableau because it can save you a lot of manual work. It can calculate the percentage of total, running totals, all different types of like moving averages, calculations that have to be done across your table. We'll learn about that. We learn how to create bins in Tableau, and bins, we need them for distributions, and that is a very easy procedure how to create bins. And we also learned how to use parameters to our advantage in Tableau to make our dashboards very easily adjustable, and that also helps with the process of data discovery. And finally, in terms of visualization, in this section, we learned about a field map. We learned how to create a pie chart. We learned how to create distributions. We learned how to create a tree map. And we talked about storylines and how you can create a storyline to present to your audience. And finally, in section 7, a section to make sure we cover off all the data preparation steps, because data preparation is indeed a very heavy and intensive part of our work as data scientists. It might take up to 70% of our time, and so Tableau can make your data preparation much easier if you use the following tools that we discussed. These are the data interpreter in Tableau, which can read your data and tell you where it thinks the headers are and where it thinks the data is. The pivot, which allows you to quickly pivot your data while you're connecting to it in Tableau. The advantage of splitting columns, so very powerful when you can't manipulate your data set. When it's, for example, coming from a database or somewhere, you can split things like name and surname into separate columns. The metadata grid, which allows you to polish up the presentation of your data, change column names, and see where everything's coming from. So kind of like a control center for your data connection. And fixing up map errors. We also talked about that, what errors can come up in maps and how you can easily fix them in Tableau. All right, hope that was helpful. You can find this PowerPoint presentation in your course resources, and that will help you always to remember which topics are covered off, and if you need to refresh on something, you can always come back to the right section very quickly.
So those were the topics we covered off, and I really hope that you had fun learning in this course. And if you did enjoy my teaching style, then this doesn't have to be a goodbye. You can always check out my other courses. It's very easy to do. You just need to go to my profile, and there you'll see all the classes I have on offer, and perhaps there's some other skill that you'd like to learn. It would be very exciting to see you in my other courses. And don't forget to leave a review for this course. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy analyzing.